So, Christy, do you want to build an aircraft in your little garage?
No.
Okay, well, there's a lot of you guys out there that want to build an aircraft. We're going to find out on this special episode of In the Hangar.
Welcome to In the Hangar. I'm Christy Wall.
And I'm Dan Milliken. We are here at Airventure. We are taped, so you're getting this later, but it is actually the first day of Airventure.
The first real day.
The first real day of Airventure.
We were here yesterday.
We were here yesterday, but also we were at the Flying Eyes booth, where, now, of course, this is after Airventure, but if you go to the website, flyingeyesoptics.com, you can use our discount code, taking off all caps, one word to get 10% off.
Yeah.
And also, Clemens Insurance is helping pay for all this. Jerry has saved me a ton of money, and also our guest a ton of money on insurance. So
and we're using that money for the set.
And we're using the money for the set. So let's go to it. Brian Wallstrom. Brian, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me on here again.
Dude, fist bumps.
Fist bump there. Don't spill her coffee. You
well,
don't
no,
want to see
it's
that.
tea.
Oh, it's tea.
It's tea. It's still caffeine, though. Very important.
So, Brian, thanks for coming on. We've had you on before a long time ago, so it's great to have you back.
Yeah, back in Texas.
So, experimental aircraft, a lot of people, I'm a certified guy. I never really had a desire to build aircraft in my garage or anything else. So, your world is pretty foreign to me.
Okay. Well, you don't have to build, of course. The experimental class, you can purchase something already built.
Okay.
But I would try to motivate you to try to do your own thing and build at some point in time. But the thing that experimental offers you that your certified world doesn't is pretty much the freedom to modify and change things without a bunch of paperwork.
Right.
Right. And that's the major draw. In
Paperwork.
fact,
Well, and now I know there's something, explain this to me. I know there's something about, like, in the experimental world, it's not an annual inspection, it's a conditional inspection, right?
that's correct.
Okay,
Yep.
so the conditional inspection, if you build a certain percentage of it, you get to do it yourself? What's the deal there?
It's
So-
a condition
A condition, not conditional.
Or conditional.
Condition.
Yeah, okay.
Condition and inspection, yeah.
Because you're inspecting the condition of it. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Okay,
not
see, there you go.
conditional,
Exactly.
conditional.
Gotcha, okay.
So, but what's the rule about if you built it yourself?
So if you built it yourself, you have gained the knowledge of that particular type aircraft, right? You are the subject matter expert, if you will, because you built it. So then you have earned the right to get the repairman certificate. So if you have the repairman certificate for that aircraft, then you get to do the condition inspection, or annual, as you would call it in the certified world.
Even if you're not an A&P?
Correct.
Okay.
Because you've become the A&P for your aircraft.
So you have to get some kind of paper that says I can do it?
Basically, at the end of you building your aircraft, you'll have an inspection, and then you have an airworthiness certificate, and along with that, you apply for that repairman certificate at the same time.
But there is a certain percentage of the aircraft build you have to do yourself to be able to
51%.
get that. What?
It's the 51%.
51%.
Yeah. And all that states is basically not necessarily you build that entirely 51%, but 51% of the aircraft is built by amateur builders. Okay. And
So you don't have to build the 51 yourself.
Well, let's just say that you do. But
Okay.
there is a little bit of a leeway because, unfortunately, some of these kits will transfer builders. You might be
Okay.
the second, third, or fourth owner. That doesn't mean that you don't get to get the repairman certificate.
Oh, okay.
Because there's still a lot of work to be done, right? And that's why
Right.
it's very good to document, whether it's photos or in writing, what you've done, and even have like EAA tech counselors come in and verify some stuff, just to, especially if you're a first-time builder.
If you're looking for an amateur builder, I can
There you
give
go.
you one right
There
here.
you go. The experimental side of things, and what basically it's like arts and crafts airplanes. All right, it's arts and crafts airplane
Arts and
style.
crafts.
Yeah. All right. So you can do stuff literally at your kitchen counter as you're drinking coffee.
Tea.
Okay. Or tea. Or what? You know.
What if I've never been good at arts or crafts?
Then this isn't for you.
Okay.
Well, this is where you buy that
But
one
if
that
you
was
can
built by
color
somebody else.
inside
There
the
you go.
lines, Christy, if you can color inside the lines, that's a good start.
Okay, I can
All right.
do that.
Yeah.
Well,
that
I
I could
have
do.
to admit, not being super interested in that until we had Greg Hughes. You and Bailey did an episode
That's
interviewing
right.
Greg Hughes of Vans, and I was edited it. I was talking with Greg, and all that kind of stuff, and it really intrigued me. And I now want a van. It's RV.
Oh,
although-
no.
I know. So I think I've been bitten by that bug, and so I've thought about it. You know, it looks really cool and fun to build your own aircraft. I want it. That sounds really good to me.
Yeah.
But I also know me that it sounds really good, and I'll get 15 minutes of pure joy into it before I'm going, okay, I'm done. Anything else? Let's
There's a
move
lot of
on.
cursing, a lot of.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't
It
know
is
that I
a
can
really
do that.
difficult thing for somebody with ADD, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
So, all right. Now, Brian, you have the Experimental Aircraft channel.
Correct.
And you're going through some stuff with that and doing some changes. You've been around for 5 years.
5
You
years.
built an incredible base for it. You're at 150,000 subscribers. Tell me about what's up with you and going on there.
Yeah, so 5 years in, in fact, July is our anniversary date of when we hit the go button on YouTube and start the process of learning, you know, while you're earning kind of thing. But now that I've been in it 5 years, I've learned a few things, and it's time to like cut the fat in certain areas and streamline because you know all this, as you know, takes a lot of time to capture and edit and then distribute. And a lot of times, I'm pretty much a one-man show. You've got a little bit of a crew to help you out, but regardless, it takes time. So if I can kind of cut the fat in certain areas and streamline, that's what I'm focused to do. And additionally from that, you know, with YouTube, let's describe YouTube for a minute, right? You know, TV, we all grew up and it was like, let's say 24 channels, and you had to divide up all the different topics among those 24 channels. Then entered in cable, and it's 300 channels and nothing's on.
Right.
And then we go into YouTube, which is infinite channels.
Right.
So we have to super niche down on a certain topic. If you want to go to another topic, start another channel. So after doing what I've been doing now for 5 years, I'm like, I love aviation. This is my people.
Right.
So let's not just cover the experimental side. So I'm launching a second channel of Chasing Aviation, and basically the pilot life, the homes they live in, the air parks they live at, the cars they drive. So this will be a little bit broader audience, but still in the same genre.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, I'm happy to be on your Chasing Aviation. Yeah, I drive a 19-year-old Honda Pilot that I named Rana the Honda. We'll start there.
Awesome.
And I fly as many
Maybe
airplanes
just-
as I can get my hands on.
Maybe just buff it up and wax a little bit before we show up to.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I get the feeling that if you could home build an Embraer E175, you might do that in your garage.
I don't know. I'd rather just fly the ones that come to me.
Okay.
I have a whole team of maintenance personnel that I love that take care of my 175s.
I am intrigued by the idea of building an airplane, so maybe I will someday in the future.
I will say I have flown in several RVs at this
Okay.
point, and they are fun.
They're fun.
really, really fun, and they're super easy to maintain overall.
Yeah, the performance is really the gain over
Right.
certified because you're stuck to certain parameters. Plus, you're talking
Exactly.
about technology and mindsets from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and you know, a lot of these experimentals are more modern, right? And
Right.
the airplanes back then were built around the 165-pound pilot. There's very few 165-pound
I'm under
pilots.
165. I just want to throw that out there.
You're the exception.
So
and you're-
I could make that work.
Well, tell us about your build right now.
So I am currently building something that I started way before I started the channel, which is a Zenith. It's a two-seater side-by-side. I love side-by-seating because
Same.
we can talk like
Yeah,
this, right?
same.
And also offered the option of plans building. So I like working with my hands. I like forming metal and bending metal and stuff. So I wanted to do all the things. Of course, I got into it and I built some of the things like the wings. I decided, you know what? I'm running out of time. Let me just order the kit.
Right.
And a lot of these kit manufacturers, including Vans, as you mentioned, offers either buy the whole thing or buy segments like tail kit, wing kit, fuselage kit. So that's good for builders to have options.
Do you have a YouTube video on how to build it?
Well, here's the thing. I spend so much time capturing what everybody else is doing. I spend very
Right.
little time on what I'm doing. But I do
Right.
highlights like major milestones.
Okay.
I'll jump in and share what I'm doing.
See, that's
Yeah.
what I need. If I were going to build an airplane, I need a YouTube video that shows me how to do it. So I'll just buy the kit and then build step by step via
There are
YouTube.
some people that have created nearly step by step.
Okay.
But
do
there's
that,
like
yeah.
what, 1,000 hours, 4,000 hours. I mean, there's like,
AKA 10 years.
yeah, it takes a lot of time to.
That's why the majority of people, unfortunately, are a little bit higher in age and they're either retired or
They have
their
more
business
time.
is on cruise control, so
Right.
they can have time. But yeah, you're talking about 2,500 to 3,000 hours for a Vans maybe
Wow.
like 1,000 hours, 1,500 for a Zenith or a RANS or.
See, yeah, and as an airline pilot, that's
It's not
gone
gonna
4
happen.
days a week. Yeah,
But
and that's why I
you-
don't have any interest in it.
But you have a week on and a week off. Do you not?
no, I have 4 days on, 3 days off. And on those 3 days off, I'm usually getting
We
ready
need to adjust
for
your
the next.
schedule to accommodate building an airplane.
I will call my employer and see what they
And
can
tell
do.
them that. So Brian said,
Brian
I need
said
to build an airplane.
from the experimental
Adjust my schedule
airplane
now.
channel. Yeah.
And stand strong.
You okay? I'll walk over to the tent.
All right. Well, Brian, thanks for coming on, and
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here. And you guys out there, make sure you check out his experimental aircraft channel, and also the new one, Chasing Aviation. Love the name. That's great.
Yeah.
And also want to thank our sponsors. We mentioned Flying Eyes. Use that discount code. Also, we've got Clemens Insurance. We talked about that. But we also didn't mention at the top, we've got 67 designs, the best camera, tablet, smartphone mounts for your airplane. And also MPS, Marshall Protection Services, and Z-Vision, the brightest landing taxi lights that are out there.
Yeah. We're having fun at Osh. You ready to go do some exploring?
Yeah, so we'll see you guys. Check out some of the other videos, and we'll see you next time.
On In the Hangar. Or in the hangar.
Come on. You had one job.
I had one job.